Chewy's t-shirt. Max. Can't remember who NT is. NT. Niall that'll be. That's Niall. So, that's that one. Zach. Nick. Where's this one? Sam. Not bad for a little bit of Sunday League merch for loads.
Well, it might be a new year, but it's safe to say the weather hasn't got any better. As the lads rather slowly and reluctantly get ready to brave the elements once again, some of you might remember that the lads come into this game only having played one game throughout the Christmas period, and as games go, this is a rather important one. It's split day. With the league still needing this game to be played, both teams know that whoever wins today steals their spot in Section A. Well, a draw drags this on even further. After capturing the most enthusiastic warm-up to date, it's fair to say that Drew's water bottle has got the most attention so far.
Right boys, listen up. Right, first things first, it's nice to be back. I know the weather's not particularly great, but it's nice to be back playing. We've had, I think, 6 postponements at the last count. With that in mind, today's pitch is going to tear up 100%, okay? So, get the ball out into those lesser used areas, get the ball out to the wing, get it down on the floor where we can. It's alright now, but it won't be during the course of this match, alright? And it'll probably be the last time we play on it for a little while after today. The league need this game played. I think we've told most of you in the change rooms why. Us and them are straddling the line for promotion for the split. Essentially, whoever wins goes into Section A. Whoever wins goes into Section 8. Now, you can take into that and read into that whatever you like, but once the whistle blows, we're going to all want to go out there and play and move the ball around and do our best, right?
It's very political.
Yeah, it is very so, we're starting with a team, a couple of players that are missing out because they've not been here through injury or what have you, and then the players that are playing because they have been here and they deserve it, basically. So, starting 11. Money is going goal in absence of a real goalkeeper. Back 4. Digger,
2 clean sheets in a row.
George and Sam centre backs, and Dan Shue on the other full back. Whichever the biggest comfortable with you with the other side, I think.
Okay. Put Digger right.
Midfield 3, Max, Pez, and myself, and a front 3 of Jason and Zach either side of Adam. Okay. So let's get the ball into Adam's feet. Let's get the ball working around the ground. Do our best to work for each other. If you're blowing, give me a shout. We've got 6 subs today.
We can confirm that it was in fact water in Drew's bottle, but something tells me we're going to need something a little stronger after this. Nevertheless, armed with Jeff's pack of tissues, we're all ready to brave the elements once again and get this split sorted.
Go, Jay!
We start the action with Pez as he picks the ball up on this right-hand side. After getting tackled, some good work from Mac wins the ball back for Pez, who crosses the ball in back post. Zach then hangs a lovely ball into the box for the head of Adam. Oh! Definitely a great chance to go 1-0 up in this game early doors. However, here come Waverton looking to mount an attack of their own. Not that you could see much, but that was definitely a little too close for comfort. As Ryan said, if only the D had a real goalkeeper, he'd have had it under control. Sorry, Lunny. Goalkeepers aside, another problem has come up to the surface, and is in fact on the playing surface itself, that being a dog turd. Ryan's task now is to find a poo bag and remove it. Luckily for him, the lads are here to offer a helping hand.
Got any? Drew, you go to change rooms, get a shit bag out of the kitchen.
While the search for a shit bag continues and Craig puts his shin pad back on, the lads are using this opportunity to keep warm however possible. Whether that be putting an extra layer on like Ryan.
You've got some fucking shit bags in there, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, pick of the day.
Or doing the bleep test like Adam.
Did you not see his header?
Trust me, Jason, we did. I know the lens has taken a battering from the rain already, but luckily we have Jeff's packet tissues on standby still.
Hang on, why are we all stood there like this?
Although Aaron has a very good point in general, more importantly, he's finally realised there was an umbrella pitch side this whole time.
Come on, in you come.
While Aaron thinks about life some more in the cold January rain, Pez has other concerns.
Let's have a fight.
Even with the help of Jeff, the elements are causing havoc even for Pez. Meanwhile, the lads are huddled together like a bunch of hooped penguins, with a shitbag still nowhere in sight.
We best stay in section B first.
Thankfully, before we all get hypothermia, Drew emerges with the shitbags. After wiping over the lens and Ryan nearly knocking out the ref with the shitbag, we present to you the blurriest dog turd removal Sunday League has probably ever seen. Well, sort of. Thankfully, back to the action now. At least some people are enjoying the weather. Isn't that right, Digger? What's better than one Digger tackle? Another one, maybe? Sadly, despite Digger's heroics, Jason couldn't capitalise after some good defending. But from the resulting corner... After Sam's goal, that's one step towards Section A. Speaking of steps, Jason is taking multiple and wins a soft foul in a promising position. Now, can Zach make it 2? Despite the lack of reaction from the sideline, Zach actually gets a free kick on target. However, he sees his effort cleared off the line. Despite the D's best efforts, Waverton managed to scramble it clear for a throw. Nothing happened from the throw, but Waverton have a free kick. After failing to make the free kick count, a good header sees Aaron ditch his umbrella and send Adam for another run. It turns out Adam's bleep test before come in handy after all. Now, can Digger make it 2 and send the D one step closer to Section A? Well, it would have been the case if he didn't put his efforts straight at the keeper. But here come Waverton as they look to level this game up.
Let's save Lunny. Out.
Thankfully for the D, it turns out Lunny has other ideas. With Waverton continuing to press for that equaliser, it's only right that the D give them a helping hand, I guess. Despite the Waverton protests, the play continues, and Lunny is back to his old tricks once again. It's fair to say Dowdy wasn't impressed by Lunny's tricks. Speaking of tricks, after Zach sends the Waverton defender to get a rain jacket, he charges towards the Waverton defence. He looks up, plays a scuffed ball towards the middle of the park. Aaron then gets clattered, but Pez sets the ball through to Adam, who's through on goal. Sadly, Adam's effort hits the post. The conditions are really starting to take an effect on the pitch now, with the ball starting to hold up in the mud. Luckily for Waverton though, they scrambled the latest D effort clear. With half-time looming, can the lads make this corner count maybe? Well, as one of the wettest, windiest and coldest halves of football we've ever recorded comes to an end, the D are 1-0 up and 45 minutes away from Section A. However, Ryan and the Waverton manager Kyle seem to be in deep discussion with the ref, as the game could potentially get abandoned, leaving the lads to watch on and wait for their decision.
What? Oh, referee! What? I'm not paying subs today. Subs coming out! No, I might pay 250. He's called it off? Yeah. Sun's out! He's gone. And now it's behind him. I've already got just go back. This one's straight in the ankle. I don't fucking believe it.
We couldn't have said it better ourselves, Jeff.
Here we go. Hey, lads, you've got fucking 2 nets to take down here. Yeah, that's it, more. You'll get funny. It's bad. It's still making a brew. Right. Jeff.
That does not count. I can smoke for 8 days.
That does not count.
As Jordan poetically tries to rally his frustrated teammates to take the nets down, in more important news, Pez's fag is finally lit, and Jeff's lungs remain smoke-free. We can all look on the bright side, as the sun's coming out, and at least nothing else can go wrong.
Hey mate, sorry I can't get hold of you. It's Ryan from Dee Rangers. I'm stood in the changing rooms now. We've closed up early. Paul Jeffs has abandoned the game for the safety of the players. Pitch was awful. Very, very wet. We tried our best to get the game played so we could sort the divisions out, but no chance, mate. It's wet and it's probably ruined for a couple of weeks now, so I'll have to speak to the groundsman about marking up the other one. Alright mate, I'll hopefully catch you later. Speak to you in a bit. Bye bye. Well, that's interesting. In 12 years of being at Dee Rangers, I've never had a match abandoned midway through. We've had all kinds of excuses and all kinds of things over the years, but to see the pitch like deteriorate the way it was and the mud flying and chopping it up, and it was horrible, absolutely horrible. Kyle, the Waverton manager, was adamant that it was unsafe, and I agree with him. Players weren't happy because once you're here and you're wet and you're playing, they wanted to carry on. Obviously 1-0 at half time, game's in the balance, but player safety is the most important thing, and both myself and Kyle will take that on the chin if we have to, because the last thing we want is one of the lads who's playing for us to miss work because he's got a broken leg or whatever it might be. So game's off, we roll on. The division can't be split because they're still waiting on the result of that game to see who stays Section A and who goes in Section B. So it rolls on again. We'll see what happens.
You sure been busy lately. No time to talk at all. I'm your fool. Yeah, I'm your fool. Been a while now since you left me. You won't return my calls. I'm your fool. Yeah, I'm your fool.
Let's tell me, Belly.
Well, aside from getting content for a Dowdy's only Dowds, it's another Sunday, and for once, the sun is out, so it can only mean one thing. It's split day. Again.
Right, are we winning or losing this one then?
Oh, the big debate's back in.
While the lads debate what lies ahead, Lunny arrives, which leaves Dowdy to talk to him about his form on Saturdays.
I wish you'd play like that on a Sunday.
Yeah, so do I.
I even said to your manager. Did you tell you what I said to him?
No, it's probably one.
I said, I said it's gonna fucking kill me to say this. This is what Lunny man and that.
Yeah, I don't even think he wanted to say it either.
How can you not? You saved them. I mean,
Yeah, you could have scored 3.
5 of your 8 saves were goal saves. Not just simple saves, they were goal saves. The first one in the first half, you tipped on the bar.
Yeah,
Phenomenal save.
I
You might not have seen it, but I actually clapped.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. You couldn't have clapped it.
Hopefully you would have seen me then you would have been pissed off. He might have played shit then.
While we wonder if Saturday Lunny will ever make an appearance on Sundays, Ryan gives away some early team news.
He's not coming. Well, he just told him to. He messaged me, what's the crack on Sunday? I go, you're not playing. I don't think he's got plans. Just said to watch. So what do you want me to do? I wouldn't be too offended if you don't.
Gaz needs to get fit again, doesn't he?
I know, yeah, but they'll put them as far into the goal as possible.
Left back there.
Left back, you'll lose the dough.
So, with Adam not playing and Gaz as far away from the goal as possible, Dowdy comes up with an idea.
Do the surge formation. Two in the carousel.
Surge's washing machine. So
No, it's a carousel.
turned to the vets and he said, we're going to play this carousel formation where every player is up front, but every player is equally right wing, left wing, and defensive midfield. And so he wants them to rotate in a circle like this, and he's like, it worked for Barcelona, and all the vets are like, fucking hell.
Sadly, we may never see Surge's carousel in action, but more importantly, we have a special guest at Hull Park. That special guest is Bev. Bev is one of the founding fathers of the Mighty D all those years ago, and still keeps up with how they're getting on whenever possible. He is yet to see Hull Park since his revamp earlier this year, so he's come down today to have a tour round and reminisce about old times.
No, you would.
What do you think of this?
Fantastic.
Different, isn't it?
Yeah, you better show me around.
I will do. Bit different.
I haven't been in it before.
I brought.
You remember what we used to change, didn't
Well,
you?
I got a season or two in that, and there was holes in the wall, the showers didn't work, the lights didn't work.
Yeah.
Got a kitchen for the room.
Luxuries we could only dream of.
Hearing Bev and Ryan talk about the old times really shows how much progress has been made over the years, and how much times are so much different now.
We've got facilities to actually
Lockers?
clean up. I mean, this is just a rest room, that's it. I've been in changing rooms away to teams, and this was the best you had.
Luxury showers.
It's not bad, is it, mate?
Seeing Bev's face light up as he walks around Hull Park is amazing to see, and it's definitely one of the best moments of the series so far.
I've had a difficult return, getting used to everything, fire alarm going off and all this and that. Don't forget the last couple of years because of COVID, we haven't been using changing rooms. It's a nice luxury to come back to.
Showers are great.
Showers are brilliant. They are, and I like to say, they're hot for everyone.
After having a tour around the inside of Hull Park, it's only right Ryan shows him the outside. It feels like such a long time ago since we trekked along here as part of our memory walk, as we raised important funds for the Alzheimer's Society, and seeing little things inspire Bev to tell us more about his stories along the way has been great, and could have easily been an episode on its own. But that's not the only reason why Ryan has asked Bev to come down today.
Well, I got, anyway,
Yeah,
the reason I brought you here,
Yeah.
amongst other things, I have got to get ready in a sec, but the reason I brought you here, amongst other things, is, as you know, in 4 years ago, we inducted Wayners into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
First ever inductee
yeah.
into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then the plan last year, with all the Vanarama money that we had, on the 40th anniversary, was to induct the 5 original founding fathers of Dee Rangers into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And every single one of these was on piss and holiday. We couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I've trying to get you all in a room together. That's proving ridiculously difficult. And then I thought with the documentary that we're making and with the bits of filming we're doing, the photographs that we're doing, that I'm going to just meet you individually. So if you'd like to walk inside, Bev, we can reward you and award you your 2021-22 40-year anniversary Hall of Fame.
With Bev's Hall of Fame award waiting, it's back to the kitchen.
So this, my friend, is your Hall of Fame tankard.
Thanks very much, Ryan.
Very welcome, mate.
Really appreciate that.
Pleasure.
After taking a few pictures for the socials, let's hear what Bev has to say about receiving his award.
Spot on. See, that's
Fabulous.
I've got one for Chal, who I met last week, and one for yourself. I've got Kerry, I've got Spruce, and I've got Thack.
Well,
And the idea was to get these all together,
Yeah.
give a big round of applause from everyone.
yeah.
But that proved
I mean,
extremely difficult. So
It will be, we can arrange that eventually, but
yeah,
it'll probably
but I
be.
don't want you to wait forever. I've got
No.
someone at the house.
Yeah.
The wife's giving me grief, so it's one of them. I've been there, and what worried me, to be truthful, is they were in the shed, and you know when it was freezing cold.
Yeah.
I went in, and there was also when we did the beers when we were at the Diva.
Yeah.
I had a couple of bottles of them in the shed. And I went in one day, one of them was frozen solid,
Right.
and then obviously there's a beer inside it popped. And
Right.
I thought, you know, those tankards are all right. So I had a look at them and they're all fine. Moved them into the house, kept them warm then for the remainder of the -2, 3, 4 weather that we had.
That's a class move to recognise the Peter, because Pete Challoner, Paul Spruce, Kelly Driver, and Phil Thacker, they formed and obviously myself, we were founding members, as you know, but they formed the first committee.
Yeah.
and they sorted out the finances, the kit,
Well,
or the, and everything like that. So to be fair, those 4 guys put a lot of hard work, just because better than
Absolutely,
anyone
yeah.
what goes on behind the scenes.
Well, when I spoke to Chal, he was the first of the 5 that I met,
Yeah,
and I gave him his, and he actually felt really guilty because he didn't know I'd done one for Kerry, and he said, Kerry was the first secretary, you've got to give it to him. I said, well, every one of you is going in. So all 5 of you are going in, amongst Benners, who obviously did his time player manager, Wayners, who was the first inductee, and Supercars as well, who we've lost. But those names, that when we finally get a website running, but amongst the pictures and things that are out there, don't know if you noticed, but the league have set up a little social media account, and they're loving seeing pictures as well. So I think Sunday League maybe doesn't get the credit it deserves. I think it's always been a secondary thing for Saturday League.
Yeah.
But when someone sees how I run Dee Rangers, for example, Dowdy, who's got a Nomads team on Saturday, and also is obviously part of like the managerial committee, he speaks to Nomads who've got 20 odd teams, maybe more if you count the kids' teams. And they say, do you know what, the job Ryan does, Dee Rangers, bloody hell. Things like that, you think, because I'm proud of it and I love what I do and it's great fun. It's much harder to run 20, I'm sure it is. I said, but equally, I'm dead proud that we run the way we run, we do the charity stuff we do, but I only kept this club alive, I only kept this club alive in 2011, 12, whatever it was. Because the stories from Fraser and Morty and Steve, I did this, and if this had been a team that's 2-3 years of age, I'd have just jibbed it off. But when I heard them, I thought, you can't let it go. The fact that you come down to watch, that Wayners comes down to watch, that Benners was in touch, that Morty still played, I was like, you can't let those memories go. And maybe it was a romantic old fool going, this is romance of football and all that sort of stuff. But do you know what? I don't care. I kept it going and we struggled, but those memories were really important. And then we've got our own now. We've got our own stories, the game against Castrol, the game against Woodlands, and they're big stories for us to tell. The Cup last season was the best one. I keep telling the lads, you might lose an individual game, I said, but in 20, 30 years when you look back and you go, what a day out we had. You know what I mean? Great fun, we had the mates you've made, that's what it's all about. You guys, Fack, Spruce, Kerry and Wayners, they still go to the Diva every week together. I don't know if they go together, but they still go to the
they still go to the match.
And you think, they've long since stopped playing Sunday League, but they're still mates 20, 30 years on, and I think that's brilliant.
40 years, isn't it now?
I think they're
40,
brilliant.
No one ever thought, like 40 years later, that still big Dee Rangers thriving, and we'd be reminiscing like this. But I think it's great of you to recognise, because really, Paul Spruce, Phil Thacker, Kerry Driver, Pete Challen, they put the hard graft in at the beginning, and carried it on for a few years. Pete Chal, player manager, yourself, doing the kit, doing the first aid, doing the water, doing everything. And there's a few people who've done that. And I think it's right that you've recognised them, even though we couldn't all be at the same time.
It's a shame you couldn't. But I made it.
What I'd like to say though is, on behalf, and I'm sure those guys would echo this if they were here, on behalf of us founding fathers, thank you to you for carrying on the team and rescuing it really. And it was pretty dire, wasn't it, in 2011, 2012?
Yeah, we were struggling. We were.
And so I think, if I could speak for all of us from the originals, big thanks to you as well for keeping it going. And of course, all the lads won the first cup last year.
That's it. Yeah, and hopefully
a few of us were there to see it. That was great. That was something we could never do. We could never win a cup.
Nah. But I thought we were going to struggle, to be fair, and last year was just the way it fell, brilliant, and we got these lads in the final at Waverton again. Yeah. For it to be us and Waverton, two of the oldest teams going, I thought it was brilliant. Made up we won, but I think, like I say, that football romantic would have been made up whoever won. I'd have been gutted if we lost, but I'd have been made up for them equally, because they put the same graft in that I put, to keep going, and Kyle puts the same graft in. So to see those teams flourishing, and the Champagne Charlies that come and go, not winning something. Yeah. Even Custom House won the other cup. Another old team, or old rivals. But I sent Dale their message and said, you know what, well done mate, brilliant, because the 2 or 3 teams that come and fold every now and then, blah, 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 same bunch of players turn up, they're not winning something, and Custom House, Waverton, or possibly Upton, Tarvin, the teams that have been around forever, winning things, that's brilliant for me. I love that. I love to see us winning stuff.
It's good. It's still a good set of lads as well. I mean, that's what it was always about.
Yeah.
Good set of lads.
Yeah.
You know, clued up and like a social afterwards, and you know, to see that still going and back at Hull Park with really plush dressing rooms compared to what we used to play. It's great. Progress. Well done.
Right, I'm going to get my boots on and we're going to head over and get some of the game.
Smashing.
Meanwhile on the pitch, the boys have set up a rondo that would leave Pep's Barcelona terrified. However, the time has finally come for one of these teams to be dragged kicking and screaming to Section A.
Right, boys, you know the situation here. We've all talked about it to death. Today's game, we played halfway through the other week. I think both teams are in a similar situation. I want us to go out and enjoy being back out there. The result will speak for itself. We know at the end of the game, essentially the winner's going to end up in Section A, so it's on us to go and get the result that we need. Starting 11, we're going Lunny in goal, who apparently is in the form of his life. Fuck off.
One game.
That is the form of his life. One good game. Back four, Digger and George fullbacks, with Sam and Dowdy centre backs. Midfield three, Gary, Liam and Craig.
Liam's like, that's my
Gary's
job.
probably got about 25 minutes in, so stay warm.
Can we have roll on, roll off there?
And a front three of Jason and Aaron and Zach. Whomever feels most comfortable in the middle between you and Zach, take that place, okay?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, I don't even get a choice.
Try and enjoy yourself. Yeah, you're not doing that.
So with the sun shining and Bev in attendance, let's hope we actually get this game played. We start the action with the Waverton keeper. His long kick meets the Wavo head, and Jordan's clearance beats the Wavo backline. And after a sudden burst of pace, Jason's onto the loose ball and is 1v1 with the keeper.
He has missed it as well.
After that sudden burst of pace, we hope Jason did a proper warm-up instead of a light one like last time he was at right wing. Otherwise, he'll be knackered already.
You're too far for goal, son.
Speaking of knackering, in that last clip, Waverton launched a counter-attack that quick, even we couldn't keep up on commentary, although a yellow shirt was nowhere to be seen to finish the move off. In other news, the lads' rondo from before might have actually come in handy, as they coolly play it out from the back and send the ball up the line to Jason. A slight hint of deja vu as Jason wins another soft foul. Now can Dowdy put a good ball in the box?
Go on. Yeah. That's one assist, right? Hey, Dowdy.
Noted.
Hey, come off my head.
While Dowdy and Jason argue about whose assist it was, Zach's well-taken strike puts the D 1-0 up. However, the game is still end-to-end this time. It's Waverton once again who charge forward. Luckily, Lunny is on standby. We might be speaking too soon, but could Saturday Lunny be making an appearance? Speaking of Lunny though, his goal kick meets a yellow head first. Gaz then picks up the second ball and chips it over to Jason, who composes himself and then aims the ball back post. After a lovely cushioned Waverton header, it falls to Craig. Some say Craig's effort hasn't landed yet. Meanwhile, Lunny is certainly enjoying himself. However, here they come again. And again. And again. Wait, Max getting foul wasn't in the notes. Nevertheless, Gaz launches one over the top and puts Jason through on goal. Surely he can finish it this time. As Dick of the Day shouts echo around Hull Park, and with Jason still in disbelief, it's now Waverton's turn to miss a sitter. With thankfully not long to go till the half-time, there's just enough time to miss another sitter. Decent save from the keeper though. Speaking of saves and missed sitters, not to be outdone, it's Jason's turn once again. However, the Waverton keeper pulls off another good save. How is this game still 1-0? Thankfully for everyone involved, the ref calls an end to the first half, with the boys leading 1-0 at the break, like last game. It really has been new year, same split.
This is the weirdest 1-0 ever. Should be a ridiculous scoreline.
It's almost like we're all missing our purpose, isn't it?
Yeah. Your shot into the trees was fantastic.
Bevo said to me, do you want to go up?
What did he say about them going up? Because they look like they're trying but can't score.
Yeah, he said the same. And that number 9 comes on, Jace can go centre back, I'll swap with Jace. He's fucking quick as fuck.
That's fine, mate. You can stay there when he comes off. I think both teams are a bit like that, aren't they? Nobody really wants it, but we're going out there and winning and they're just fucking missing everything.
With the rain thankfully not wanting to make an appearance so far this game, the second half can be played this time. So, as things stand, only 45 minutes separates the boys from Section A. We start the half with Max on the charge. He looks inside and passes it to Liam. After picking up the ball, he then forgets where the ball is, and Waverton come forward. George tries a Lunny special, then Waverton drag their latest attempt wide. After that last effort, we certainly hope this half isn't full of missed chances too. Meanwhile, it seems Lunny is off on an adventure.
Lunny, what are you doing?
With Lunny's adventure coming to a quick end, Waverton moved the ball nicely once again. Surely they can find the back of the net though this time. Okay, maybe this time. We can't tell if Dowdy's frustrated at the finishing or the lack of defending. Regardless, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Saturday Lunny is finally here. If Dowdy wasn't frustrated before, after seeing that save, he definitely will be now. As much as we joke about Lunny's moments, he's pulled off a great save there. At least he fancies giving Section A a go. That might be just the best moment this game has produced, and it come from someone who wasn't even playing. But back to the game, as the Dee are on the counter-attack. This episode has definitely been one for the goalkeepers' union. Meanwhile, the strikers' union will be pulling their hair out. With not long to go, that last effort has sparked the Dee into life finally. After Max's pass, Chewy's through on goal, and he's beat the keeper. Agonisingly, it's off the line this time. Speaking of time, with not long to go, and Waverton pushing everyone forward, Jason's ball over the top finds Liam. Now, can he find the finish and send the Dee to Section A? Please? After Liam's miss, we're deep into stoppage time, and Waverton are coming forward for possibly one last time. Surely, they're not going to score now, are they? Rather controversially, the ref's seen enough, and to be fair, we don't blame him. Nevertheless, pack your bags as Section A awaits, and as you can see, the boys are thrilled. Well, not quite.
I've never seen a team look so disappointed to be going up. I'm winning a game or to Section B. I could have missed more sitters. We'll have to get beat like quick. Yeah, like you did that perfect.
Well played, mate.
Cheers. Leo, like you did that perfect.
No one else has. Everyone else wanted me to let them. Hey, that one on the with you just him, one-on-one, you saved it.
Liverpool's are silent.
I don't know if it's done it or not.
Right. Give it George, mate, he does all the money.
I think I've just silenced it. It's probably going to go off.
That's fucking sound, mate. As long as it's off, do me anything.